Hi. Hey, we're here.
We're here.
Episode 9 of Mom Proof, the art of feeling comfortable with the uncomfortable. Oh my gosh, this is so fun. Look at us. We've made it this far. Thanks again to our our few friends and family member that liked us and watched us.
It's growing, though. It's growing.
It is. It's fun. This is fun. And we've had some interesting times. I'd say this last couple of weeks have been intense, for sure.
Yeah. What did y'all do this weekend? What was, or how did you guys feel about this weekend with project graduation and all of that?
It was a cool event. That was so fun. I'm glad we all volunteered too. I mean, I will say that the kids, I think they resist that kind of stuff, but when they're there, they're like, woohoo! So I thought it was well attended. I had a lot of fun.
I think you're right. Get them through the door.
Yes.
Otherwise, it's just, I was hoping to get a few more kids.
Yes.
I was.
Well, and then for people who don't know what project graduation is, it's a graduation party that the school puts on that's funded by the school, and then all of the kids go and participate, and it's what they used to call a lockout, but in our case, they didn't do an actual lockout.
Now lock in?
Or a lock-in, sorry.
It's like, no, new one. A lockout. We're so trendy.
I know, right? We're just naming
Turn
stuff
everything
different.
upside down.
No, it's a lock-in, sorry. But it was a really fun event. We all volunteered for it. I know Jamie and Kathleen and
Jamie was
myself
on the
did.
board. She has to always do, she controls it.
Yeah, that's funny. No.
In your house,
I told you I went crazy. So note to
Yes,
self and
I
note to
know.
other parents out there.
Yep.
You don't have to volunteer for everything that last year. Like last August and September, I'm checking all the boxes. Just like you would do in first grade in PTA.
Yes.
No, you don't have to do it. You shouldn't have to do it. I thought I paid my dues. Dang it. No, anyway, it was super fun. But I do think the whole idea of project graduation is really important, and I think we got off track.
I think the nugget of why it was created was to help to have kids have an event or something to keep the flow of that energy go that night after they walk across the
and
stage.
To be safe. You
Yes.
think about it. Our kids are not getting in cars, driving, going from party to party if they're doing project graduation.
At least for that graduation night, right? We don't need a ton of project graduation parties. Just one.
No, just one.
Just the one.
That really, we can't protect them all the time like we think we can. Hence,
wear
party
your
after
seatbelts.
party. Oh, you know what? That's a
I'm
great.
just going to say it. I'm going to
great
say it as the
segue.
mom of
Do
two, and one is a new or recent driver. Not calling you out, dude. Just saying it's been like 3 months, and I do think they're safer then. Like they just get their license, they start driving. It's following all the rules to a T. At least that's what I'm noticing. And then you get in the car with the 18-year-old. Whoa, hold on, people. Hold.
You know what? You're right. They're
Batten
all
down the
kinda
hatches.
comfortable, aren't they?
They are riding free, and I wonder who's wearing their seatbelt anymore. Come on, kids. Keep it going. Everyone in the car.
Yeah, well, you mentioned, I think it's important to say that DPS just put a notice out saying that they've had more accidents because kids are not wearing seatbelts or people are not wearing
Correct.
seatbelts.
There's been more fatalities. I'm just going to say the word.
Yuck. Okay.
Yeah, so
good.
Anyway, on a brighter note.
No, good for you for putting it out there. I think we all need to be reminded.
Because that was the other thing for our project graduation. The kids drove there.
Oh, really? Oh, the one we just hosted.
The kids drove themselves there, so hopefully they were wearing their seatbelt.
And hopefully they weren't drinking.
I did have a weird panic
or
moment
what?
that night that was just a little twinge of something. I think maybe one of you and I had talked about it. One of the kids came in with the backpack.
It was me.
Right from the beginning, we had to deal with that.
Yeah.
I mean, not deal, it was a challenge.
I just have to, with that, just give another shout out to teachers and people that deal with kids all day long. I mean, me as a parent, a volunteer, that night I saw a kid come in, I got a little nervous, and I felt kind of
profiled
anxious
him based on characteristics of what we're just
I
worried
wouldn't
about.
go that far.
I know. I'm
Somebody
just
gonna
saying
send me
it's
some hate
scary.
mail.
I think we have to have those eyes, though.
Don't send me any hate mail.
Discerning eyes. Go ahead.
But seriously, teachers, thank you. Teachers.
Yeah.
God, I think it's the most important job on the planet. And I just had a twinge of what they probably feel all day long. So it was a great night, though. I think the kids had a lot of fun. It was exhausting. And you know, if any of those Lake Travis parents are listening to us, super duper shout out, man. The support from the
it was very well organized.
All the little events we hosted.
I mean, our team that really pulled it all together, they are
great.
amazing. So anyway, that was fun. So,
I mean, I think my biggest takeaway from the party it was really interesting because
the project graduation party
for the project graduation is that so I only really see, because when they get to high school, you really don't go in the school and see the kids like you do when our kids are in elementary school.
Oh, you're right.
So being at the project graduation and I volunteered, I was at near the front door, I only realized I only know like maybe 5% of the kids, right? The group that my daughter hangs out with, which is the more cooler kids. And I'd never seen.
Did you just say they're the cooler kids?
Well, you know.
Who is defining that?
Well, you know, like the kids.
Okay, my daughter would
really
kill me. She's going to be in trouble. Her and that little, their relationship's so awesome. Her daughter comes right to her. Let's see if she does
She's
with
in the
this.
popular group of the kids, the more popular ones. No.
You know what I mean?
Don't you
We're
think,
just giving
though,
you a hard
we are
time.
giving you a hard
You
time,
know
and I want you
it's
to hold that thought because I think the social hierarchy of high school has got to be one of the most challenging things in the world. And do we have social hierarchy as parenting, as, you know, in the parent community? I don't know. Do you think some parents think they know more, or are we those parents? No, we literally feel like we're exactly.
This is funny.
We're exactly in it with everybody. But all that to say, labeling your kids could be a challenge.
Yeah.
No, it is. And I guess what I'm trying to say is that I was a little, at first I was like, why are I understand the raising of the money, and I was like, do our kids really need another party, et cetera? But I didn't realize that the kids that were coming in were so excited and grateful that they had this opportunity, and it was the party for them, the big party at the end of their senior year. And they were just so happy that it really affected me. Like, I was like, wow, these kids, A, appreciate it. B, it's probably one of the only parties that they're going to go to where they're going to see all their friends, and the way it was organized, and they had all these games and stuff to do. I just thought that part was very rewarding.
That's a good point, Sandra.
You know, it's interesting with kids. I
Nicely
think
said.
after all of mine, I've seen different cultures and different decades even, right? So there was that maybe a decade when all parents talked about entitlement.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
that's
so
right.
much of that.
That's right.
That's the last thing you want your kid to act like or be like. But there was so much of that chatter. I have found this generation, Avery's 18, I have found their group of friends, not just outside, so much of that graduating class to be so grateful and sincere and polite. I would say less brats in that class than I have seen in any of my other kids.
And we need to
graduating
applaud
classes.
parents on that.
Yeah.
That's a parenting thing. Because
That's a lot. That's where they put in the work.
That's
Being
good stuff.
grateful, setting boundaries, and having kids.
Do you
really
think our
be
parents
kind.
did that with us? How did we get so good at it? Is it our wisdom because of our ages?
That's a good question.
I think everybody's
I think
different.
the rules were just so
Right. Like we had,
Legit.
exactly.
Yeah.
We had a lot of rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But also, I think, I hate to say it, but we didn't have the internet. So we couldn't
Don't
just
hate
do.
to say it. It's a fact.
You know, we
that
didn't.
interweb.
We couldn't go online
web.
shopping, or we couldn't. I mean, it's so easy for my daughter to go online and just order something and it's going to get delivered. I had to beg my mother to take me to the store to go buy something. So it was a whole effort, right?
yeah.
So it's like purchasing now is so easy that they almost forget
Oh, yeah.
that it's associated to
Of credit
a
card.
credit card, or their money has to be put in there, you know?
So do we make them work when they leave for college or beyond? What if they're just not? What if they're just leaving our house and we're making them, you know, we say you have to get a job, but that's when they might learn that value, right? But I think we have done a good job overall.
The rule when you can drive with mine was if you can drive, you can work.
Yeah.
And she's done that
That's wonderful.
the whole time.
Yeah.
She's going to continue to
All of
work.
our kids have,
in
right?
school.
Yes.
I think
And
that's been a
that's-
valuable lesson. It's been very great. You see
And
that maturity.
Interesting, because that actually, when I say these kids are very grateful, is a difference between some of the other graduating classes where the kids didn't work as much.
That was another trend with that entitlement era. Now that you say it, I remember being in the school district, and that was obviously on our discussion plates at times. And we would, you know, attribute that to, you know, just the parenting boundaries and the entitlement value bled through that way. But I think kids now have a grit And that has to have come from us as parents. They make mistakes. We want to let them drop, and we've talked about that. You know, watch them through it.
Yeah,
pick them up and guide
think
them.
also COVID had something to do with it because with COVID, there were like our teens. They were sophomore, junior year, part of junior year.
Okay, I feel like we need to do some research.
I think it was freshman year. Y'all, if you're listening, tell us. Yeah.
I mean, but they were kind of like they were stuck inside. They couldn't go out. They were restricted.
Yeah.
And I think that kind of made them more grateful when they were able to go to school.
We hope that's exactly what happened.
And maybe that had something to do with it. I don't know.
Okay, living through an actual event like that, you're right. That was a huge part of our history right now.
Well, we just wrote the information for the next pandemic because don't think that there's not going to be one because how do we know? Who knows what's around the corner? So you better just go ahead and live hard right now.
Yeah. I think that's probably in there.
It might be. I'm sure it is.
But I think, are you guys considering asking your kids to work while they're in school? Because, as they have taken the summer of wow, look at me, I'm graduated. And they're completely coasting. At least this week's been pretty indulgent from what I'm watching. How hard do we push if they hadn't been working or to continue working once they get to school?
I think it depends on the circumstance. Yeah. If they're going off to school, it's a full load. If they can hang in and just concentrate, great.
They should. That would be so good.
Ave has a unique job situation where she'll get to do a little more part-time and still help out. And so it depends on the kid, right? Do they need to be 100% in? Right. Certainly if they're...
And it depends on their spending. If you're...
Oh, good one.
If you're on a budget, if you put your child on a budget, which I think is very important... And then they're overspending. Well, then
I'm really good at that. When they do those, what are your strengths and weaknesses? Okay, Jamie can work on budgeting. Avery has gone the other direction. I've said her name 20 times now, but I feel like it's too late. Really,
kid.
It's too late.
Sorry. So yes, I agree with what we're saying, and. There's got to be flexibility, but I wondered what your kids were doing this summer. Now that we have maybe the post graduation
working
next time.
Let's talk about that next session, the post graduation.
That'll be great.
Laws.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry. Tangent.
But I think if this summer she's working, she's babysitting. That's
counts,
working,
man.
But because she wants to save money to go into college with some spending money. But that's the whole thing. She's asked, am I going to have to work? I think it's hard to make them work their first semester, first year, because they're basically, we want them to get acclimated. We want them to get other skills going. And if they're having to work and go to school, that's going to be a little bit harder. But I think after the freshman year, I totally see her.
I would recommend that as a therapist, besides just being a parent. I would say that just makes sense if you really just, nugget it down. And so that's awesome. That's a good takeaway. I hope parents are hearing that if we can let them not work, that would be advantageous to their stress load, which as we know is going to go up anyway because they're away from home or in a new environment. So if we could take one stressor off, that would be a really good first, initial one.
Y'all are really good. I'm like, no, get your ass to work. Sorry.
Oh, because
we're 1% of the population that don't have to work. Ours. Right.
Okay. I admit that and say thank you for reminding me. At the same time, I'm saying that's a nice, hey, I love you, man. As a therapist, I'm saying take some load off them.
You're right. It's not I think every child, every kid is different.
Yeah.
I think that my daughter's going to have, I know her and she's going to be anxious and have all this stuff going on. But I think that that's also why we're trying to work on giving her, like we talked about in the previous episode, tools to deal with everything
Teenage
going
toolbox.
on.
Wait, our new one, the emotional safety belts.
Yes.
Because we're talking about safety belts earlier.
Yeah.
Right? So let's unpack that.
Yes.
That's
what
good.
Are some good emotional safety belts?
I don't know, because we're coming up with it right now.
We need it.
If you think about the toolbox from before, when you're feeling anxious, you suggest to just stop a minute and actually breathe. Right. And it's 5 seconds in, 10 seconds in, maybe 5 out. I don't remember, but
people, you can Google that real quick. There's also a touch or see 5 things I see, 5 things I hear, 5 things I can smell, and just a way to center in the moment.
Okay, that's good. Those little nuggets in the toolbox are really important. Stop and breathe if you're really feeling that, and it's just get through it. No, it's temporary.
What's another one?
I mean, I read something the other day. It said if you're, when you're getting anxious or worried, then focus on people say it all the time, right? On the here and the now, because anxiety and worry doesn't live in the present moment. And I thought, well, that's interesting.
That's so
right.
Good.
You're so worried about the future and what's going to happen.
Good.
And I try and break down anxiety, and I feel like as I get older, I get more anxious. I don't know why, but
work out more
because you're wiser.
Yeah,
maybe you
do
know
more aware.
But like anxiety basically is supposed to be fear, right? It's
Yes.
the fear. So it's like right now, I think they do have a lot of fear, but even us as parents, like I have to speak for myself. I have a lot of fears.
Yeah.
I
don't think you can live in this society. It's just the world we're in is very transformative right now, right? I mean, it's just not stable. I mean, and I'm not trying to be like a naysayer, but that causes your body to naturally get on heightened alert. I mean, that is just so programmed into our DNA. So if there's any emotion that we're capable of sensing, and I think the people sitting in this room are pretty intuitive, then we're soaking in a lot of just the universal.
Right.
You know what? Let's talk more about this on our next episode, because I think it's really important.
That's a good idea.
Because we've got one more to go in this series, the actual graduation. So,
gosh, I know. They actually did it though, May 26th, 8 p.m.
We're wrapping up.
So
they're almost going to be there. Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. That's right. That's when it's scheduled.
You're so funny, Kathleen.
All
right. Well, shall we give it a wrap? Didn't you have some special question that I know if I tried to say like
it's the coffee one, I think.
We're gonna just leave our listeners and our viewers with something to ponder.
So, okay. The question is, if you were, and I'm going to try not to mess this up, it's like a tongue twister.
Got it.
If you were to go order a coffee, how would you order it that would describe your child?
Or young
in other words, or young adult.
Oh, yeah. Do we have to stop calling them child?
They're still a child.
Call them young adults.
No, I have all of them. I say, hey, boys. Okay.
Yeah, I say kids.
So we're going to describe our kids like we order a coffee.
Or no, maybe not as we order, but how would we order it to describe them? Like, don't order your regular coffee and try to make that about your kid. If you had to customize a coffee for your kid.
I got it.
Okay.
Like I'm at Starbucks. Okay. Do you want to go first?
Nope.
Okay. Okay. Look at Sandra and I are like, do you want to go?
Okay, I'm going to go. I'm just going to throw it out there.
Ooh.
I'll take a grande latte with some 2% milk and some real hot cayenne pepper and a lot of chai. And we'll call it the Scorpion.
Oh, dang.
Scorpion. Wow.
Okay. That was really good.
Gee.
Did you hear that, Ray?
I'm glad we're recording this. Okay, go.
Gosh, me? Okay.
Yeah, you came up with a question. You better have an answer.
I will take a tall vanilla coconut latte.
Aw, that's cute.
With some cinnamon and a little bit of cayenne as well.
Yep. Ooh.
And I'm going to take it iced.
Ooh, that is so...
Okay.
What were you calling it? Can she call it something?
Okay, go ahead. Name it.
I will call it
Ooh, gosh, I gotta sing.
Sweet and spicy.
Okay.
How about that?
Okay. Oh my gosh, this could be like a whole day's worth of thinking. And then we got to do it in seconds. Okay.
Yeah,
I can do it. I can do it.
30 seconds, please.
Okay. I think I do a grande sweet cream ice brewed.
Ooh.
Add cotton candy syrup with whipped cream, extra hot. Oh, wait, it can't be extra hot if it's cold. Dang it. I was so close. Damn it. Okay, but I got to add like some oomph in there. Oh, I know. Make that a triple shot.
Ooh.
There. That's it.
What is that called?
What would it be called?
What's supposed to be about you?
Gosh. That would be called...
It would be called the James.
No, that's so her. It's an angel twist.
Aww.
Oh my God. Okay, that was a fun exercise.
Right?
We can share that with our listeners.
Y'all use that at any camp or any business meeting.
Feel free. That'll be $150.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So this is a wrap. Here we go. On to the next one.
Adios.
All
That's
right.
it.
Thank you, ladies.
Yay.
Yay.